Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're doing a movie episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's powering up with me tonight?
I am the weirdly legendary podcaster, Joe Butler.
And this is Barry from Nintendo Fuse and PremiumEditionGames.com.
And I'm John. You can find me on the Commander Lionheart channel every once in a while.
Welcome back. And it's been over 6 months since we did the last Dragon Ball movie, but this has been on my mind for a bit. And fate lined up, and I had openings. And so we're here to continue our watching of some of the movies. We're going to talk about Dragon Ball Super Broly, directed by Tetsuya Nagamine, and came out in 2018 in Japan. I guess, yeah, here too. So, because it just got dubbed, at least at that point. And that's the only date I have on here.
So, I know we talked about it before, but two fun facts about this movie. One, I did a big disservice to this movie. Starting this off, I think both of you said you saw it in theaters. I wish I saw this in theaters, because holy shit, this movie seems like it'd be fucking awesome in theaters.
I wish I did too.
It was a feast in theaters. It was the first Dragon Ball movie I saw in theaters. It was awesome.
I never saw this movie before. This was my first watching of this movie.
I haven't seen it either. This is my first time watching it too.
You never seen it, Joe?
Nope. I decided not to watch it. And when he said you want to do more Dragon Ball Z stuff, I very specifically avoided it at all costs.
I'm surprised.
Super's kind of weird. It's long. It's like 60 episodes of stuff I have to watch, and I know I have to watch it, but it's like, I got no time.
Okay. Barry, what is your history with this movie?
Yeah, so this was one I also did not see in theaters. It came out, and it was just one of those where I wanted to see, but I just didn't get the chance to. And I saw the previous ones in theaters. This one life didn't situate itself in time. But when the Blu-ray came out, I was so excited because I'd missed it. So once I got the Blu-ray, I told my wife, I'm like, that's it. We're sitting here, we're watching this, and it was awesome. It was just great to get new Dragon Ball, especially because Super had ended. We all wanted more Dragon Ball.
And John, you said you got to see this in theaters?
Yeah, I have a bit of a history with this movie. We're trying to get to see it. The original night I was supposed to go see it, that morning I had kind of an emergency tooth pulled. So that didn't pan out. And then the only other time that they had for a theater around here was it snowed that morning, but luckily it warmed up enough the snow melted and I got to go watch it. But I almost missed it in theater by like a day. I think it was the last day it was playing.
Oh,
but
at least you saw it. I mean, This came out in 2019 in America, but you don't have a really long time to see these in theaters. So
they're getting better with that. Like the last couple of years, like they will normally anymore be in the theater for at least a couple weeks.
So, Mike, I don't know, maybe you're familiar with it, and you guys, I don't know how big of anime people you are, so I'm going to say it might sound familiar. Mike, are you familiar with something called Demon Slayer?
The show, right? With the girl that has a thing in her mouth and a pink kimono?
Yeah.
Yes, very familiar.
So
I'm very familiar that it exists, and I've seen people talk about it and cosplay it.
Yeah, so before I get into that, so yeah, what Barry was saying is true. It's really hard to see these. Sometimes it's only one weekend showing, things like that. Demon Slayer released its first season and then had a movie come out, which is called Infinity Train. It was basically a movie of the second arc. The creators feel like there wouldn't have been enough room to make a season, so they released it into a movie. That, I think, to this day, is the biggest selling anime movie in America. It made like $60 billion or some shit like that.
It's between it and Your Name, I think, for the highest gross in the U.S.
Yeah, and they made so much money. We now have two of the worst fucking trends ever, which is, thankfully, we do get anime movies in America now. They're usually released roughly the same day and dubbed. But now everyone saw how much money that did, so now everything's a fucking movie. So you want a new season? It's going to be a movie first. We'll just add extra scenes that we didn't put in the movie to the season.
Well, go ahead, sir.
I was going to say double-edged sword, but go ahead.
And a lot of times, like, it is just like the first 2 episodes of the season.
Yeah,
so if you wait like a week and a half, you can just watch the exact same thing, and it's so annoying anymore.
I get why they did it, but that is annoying.
Also,
I do want to do the quick, since one thing we start to do with the movie, since Ken's not here, do the quick plot of this movie. Essentially, this plot is Frieza's alive again for a guy who never saw the show because somehow Frieza returned. That's how I took it. I know they do explain it, but I wanted to make my Palpatine joke. And Broly is found on a random planet, and Frieza brings him to go fight Goku because Frieza's still upset that Goku beat the shit out of him so many years ago. There's the plot breakdown.
one of you guys can probably explain it better than I can, because like I said, I haven't watched Super. So you know how there's Beerus, right, Mike?
Yes, the god of destruction.
Yeah, he has a fat twin brother.
I know
Yeah,
of the saga, but yeah, if someone wants to explain it, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, they basically have a multi-universal arc. You know, the Beerus has a brother named Chumbawamba, and basically they have a tournament fight against each other. I don't remember. I think this is after the big arc that they have, if I'm right, where I think like the fate of the multiverse is on the line, because basically the god's like, hey, every time a tournament loses, I'm gonna destroy it. And the reason why I'm doing that, though, is because, which everyone figured out when he said it, the Dragon Balls only go to someone who's worthy, and if it's not worthy, then I'll blow up every universe, even if they win. So they have this big tournament, and they're like, well, it's the state of the universe on the line. We have to get the best fighters, and so they did what they did with Goku in the Buu saga with Frieza, where they brought Frieza with them with a halo. And basically, in the big final fight where they're getting their asses whipped by this guy, in the middle of the fight, Frieza tells Goku, if we win, you promise to bring me back to life. Isn't that right? And he's like, I think that's how they got him originally. Is they told him if he helped them, they would bring him back to life with Dragon Balls. So whenever they went to the tournament, Frieza asked him, hey, are you promise to keep your promise? And he's like, yeah. So in the most magical anime moment of all time, Goku and Frieza team up to fight a big villain, and because of them, we won. And no universe got destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, quick, just Goku was actually lying, because he was at the end. He's like, no, I'm not going to bring you back. And then Whis is like, oh, you did a good job. And Whis just like taps him on the head with his pole and like brings him back. But Goku was totally just going to let him go back to hell.
I mean, fuck him. He's basically Space Hitler.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was a little bit confused about that, because I know they do kind of mention it, that he brought him because Vegeta complains about it. They do a good way of working it into this movie. So this movie is really broken into two different acts. Act 1, the way I consider it, which is all the build-up to what's going to happen. And then Act 2 is just a straight-up fight for like 50 minutes.
That's a good 50-minute fight, though. I didn't think I could be entertained by a 50-minute fucking fight scene, but goddamn, does Avengers need to learn something.
I mean, it is good. I did enjoy the beginning stuff more. I really like the buildup of seeing Planet Vegeta before Frieza destroys it, and you see the Saiyans, you see how King Vegeta, it was all King Vegeta's fault that this even happened, because he sends Broly off to a planet to essentially die, because he's stronger than his own son. Like, I really like the early stuff. There was something about that arc that was just like, this is damn good.
Yeah. Also, the first introduction of Goku's mother ever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we never saw her before?
Nope. This was the first time we ever even like heard her name, or like, now you never knew who his mother was until this movie. And they retconned some of like the Bardock special into, which I'm fine with. That Bardock special is old enough that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is the Bardock special even canon? Because I was gonna say this is technically also makes it canon that this is Bardock too.
It used to be before this, I believe.
Okay, yeah, because it's fair.
This is canon, that I can say.
Yes.
This is, I guess, an arc for one of the manga that they then put into a movie instead, or something, what I was seeing online.
I don't remember if this...
Yes.
I mean, it was in the manga, but I don't remember what... I don't think I ever read this arc in the manga.
It's beat for beat. Same thing as Super. This and Super are beat for beat in the manga.
Well, they actually changed quite a bit of stuff for Superhero.
Yeah, but I think Superhero came out first, and then they changed some stuff to make it more palatable for the manga. It's really weird, but technically,
I think Superhero came out 2 years before because that arc in the manga was just like right before it ended when Toriyama passed away.
Mm-hmm. Well, it goes both ways, which is really weird. I'm wondering how they're gonna fix it, because there's stuff in the manga that's not in the anime. Like in the manga, there's actually a tournament between all of the destruction gods, and we end up finding out that Beerus can kind of use Ultra Instinct, but we find out that Goku's better at using it than Beerus is, which is an interesting look at it.
It's something like the Gods of Destruction kind of. They can use Ultra Instinct, but they are really, like, all of them are really bad at it because it's against their nature.
Yeah.
So the Ultra Instinct, which I only know because I've seen Funko Pops and toys and other things, that's not in this movie. When does he do that?
It is for a second.
It is for a second, yes.
He does it during the Universal tournament, the last arc of Super.
Okay.
And at the end of Super, he basically, like, there's a scene where him and Vegeta are kind of sparring, and they're talking about what happened at the end of the tournament. And Goku's like, "Yep, can't that Ultra Instinct thing's gone. I can't do it." And then he like trains with Whis and is able to do it later in the manga.
Which is weird how he just loses it.
Yeah.
Spoiler for the manga, and I don't mind because I think Super kind of adds stuff to it in the manga as well. Goku, they do a lot of cool thing with Super, which they also established in this, which also surprised me with Vegeta turning Super Saiyan God Red. That was weird.
First time we ever saw that too.
Yeah, but they're deciding to finally do something different where they're all giving them different forms instead of everyone just going to the next level of Super Saiyan, because Goku has Ultra Instinct and then Vegeta has some kind of weird purple power where his eyebrows here.
Ultra Ego.
Yeah, it's Ultra Ego, and I'm at least happy we're heading in that direction, and I say that because in Superhero, Gohan also has a different form, and then they also establish in the manga what Broly does in this is also nothing what they do either.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's technically Super Saiyan, but it is a different form of Super Saiyan that only Broly can do so far. As far as we know, it's funky.
Yeah, Mike, did you ever watch the original Broly movie?
No, I've never seen those. I was watching a bunch of the movies back then, but I never got that far. I was trying to watch them as there was some recommendation that I had that told me when to put them in there. I think I got the Super Android 13 and I never watched that.
So, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong on some things, Mr. Michaelton. The other two probably know because I watched the abridged and a lot of it gets mucked up in my memories. But in the original movie, Broly was what essentially turned into what was actually supposed to be the Super Saiyan form. So whenever they mentioned the legendary Super Saiyan, it was what Broly turns into, not what Goku and Vegeta turn into.
Yeah,
it was supposed
a
to be
legendary Super Saiyan form.
Yeah, it was something completely different in the original movie.
So I had always thought, and this is just from osmosis until this movie, that Broly was some Super Saiyan from like the past or some kind of hero to the Saiyan, something of that nature, and that's why Frieza got scared. But that's not what this movie is.
Because of a weird convoluted thing with Bardock in a special.
Oh, okay.
That is not canon. I don't think it's ever been canon.
Okay. So in this movie, the canon, why Frieza does what he does is just because he's heard rumors of it and decides that he doesn't want to chance it?
It's been re-retconned.
Okay. No, that's fine. I was just curious because they talk about it in this. I mean, this movie shows you how all the Saiyans are killed, which, like, that whole opening with everything they do is so damn good. Like, 40 minutes of this is just build up, and it is not boring at all. I could have had another 40 minutes of it. I really like it. I like the Planet Vegeta.
There's also the thing that Beerus like okayed the destruction of the Saiyans for a reason that I don't remember has either ever been said or if I've just forgot what the reason was.
I remember that. I don't remember why either. So I want to say it probably hasn't been said yet.
Okay. I was just curious. But it's cool seeing King Vegeta and seeing how he was an asshole and, you know, all because his son was a little bit weaker than Broly. He's like, well, fuck this guy. Get rid of him. He's too strong. It's a cool concept. And, like, showing the stuff with Frieza. So you guys have all seen the Bardock special before, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay, which one?
There's two,
aren't there?
Yeah, there's two.
The first one, not the weird one where he gets not sent back in time.
Okay, because was any of this, like, the stuff with Bardock, there's not much. What was any of that from the special and then kind of just changed?
The only shot that is from the special is at the end when he is, like, trying to stop the death ball. That's the only shot that is from the original special.
Okay. Also, why did nobody else help? I feel like if all the Saiyans got together and tried to stop that ball, they might have had a chance.
No, because this is the weird thing where if you go by Frieza standards, Saiyans don't really train. They're just kind of fight how they are.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of them were,
He's scared to let them get stronger, and he always sends them to weaker planets. And with the Ozaru form, they don't really need to train, so they're just kind of arrogant, like we are the strongest, which is why Vegeta is also the same arrogance. Even Frieza himself is the same arrogant. Like, I don't need to get stronger. I can crush everybody I've come against, so why should I bother? So
okay, that makes sense. Because I was weaker. Also, my wife was watching this with me, and when she saw that part with Bardock and everything, she's like, "This is just Superman."
Yeah.
When they brought, which is something that it's weird to me. In Dragon Ball Z, Toriyama did not really care for what they did with the English dub of Goku because it very much turned him into Superman.
Oh.
But then he goes and does this that is literally the Super Saiyan origin, because he always kind of in Japanese, Goku is always more of the super version, because there's a very much a difference in Dragon Ball Z Goku in the dub and Dragon Ball Super Goku in the Goku is an idiot in Super, and in Dragon Ball Z he's not. I mean, he's still like naive and kind of he's not very bright, but in Super they actively kind of make him kind of really stupid, and it annoys the crap out of me. I hate it.
Okay. I really liked having this little stuff with Goku here and seeing how Bardock sends him off. And I also really like seeing Goku's mother. Like, I didn't realize that's the first time we ever see her.
Mm-hmm.
I thought all that was really good. It's cool. They're like, because Bardock's like, hey, something's wrong here. And it makes sense. Like, everybody knows, I mean, they all know they hate Frieza. Frieza knows they hate them. But at the same time, they kind of they trust, I guess, when you work Stockholm Syndrome to a degree, too, because they talk about how long they've been working for King Cold and Frieza.
I mean, I imagine King Cole's not that big of an asshole. And I basically think that Frieza is essentially what you would, if you want to think about it, it's Kim Jong-un. Frieza is essentially what happens when a dictator has a spoiled child. And then also from what I can kind of gather, a lot of their technology comes from them too. So like in the beginning of this, Frieza shows up with scouters. I imagine King Cold gave them like space travel and stuff like that. In fact, I think it's somewhere in canon too where they're like, oh, they didn't start wearing that armor until the King Cold took over their fucking planet. So like,
has everybody played Mass Effect here?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Well, if the Saiyans are basically the Krogan.
Okay.
That means
Yes.
nothing to me.
Very much so. I agree.
I get it. I get where you're going from that. That's okay. That makes sense. Except they can have babies, not like the Krogans.
Yes.
But-
I know
Okay.
that. I know that. That dude gets tired from fucking all day. I know that part. Also, funny joke, Vegeta is stronger than his father at the same age because Vegeta was able to crush a scouter and his dad couldn't, thus proving he was stronger.
Well, because they didn't, as you guys kind of said already, they didn't train. Like they didn't try to become stronger, where Vegeta's actively trying to become stronger. Have you ever
Vegeta only actively tries to become stronger after he meets and gets his butt handed to him by Goku, Krillin, and Gohan. He never trained before he got to Earth.
But
He never tried to
finally.
get stronger.
Have we ever gotten anything about the planet Vegeta before? Like their lifestyle and how they put babies in little capsules?
Just in the Bardock special, the original Broly movie, and this is basically the only time we ever see Planet Vegeta.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Broly special was technically canon up until this, so we've at least seen something it's at least similar. Like the tubes is something that they had. We're going to have to get into it anyways, because we talked about it, because technically what they use for the movies, they also steal from the show. So one of the original reasons why Broly, you all know where I'm going with this, one of the original reasons why Broly hates, in the movie, the original Broly movie, Broly hates Goku, and they can't say Kakarot, otherwise he'll have a full-blown meltdown. And the reason behind that in the movie is because Goku cried for 3 days straight and was in the same room as Broly.
They were next to each other
Other.
In pods?
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really stupid.
That is stupid. I like this one.
Baby.
I do like when they show Goku as a baby. He looks a little chubbier than Broly and Vegeta as a baby. I think that's a nice little touch.
He's also like 5.
Who, Vegeta or Goku?
No, Goku. Yeah, whenever I think Goku sent to the planet, I always picture him as a baby, but I forget he's like a full-grown child. They obviously gestate their kids longer than we do. Like even in those pods in the beginning of the movie, they're all like 5-year-olds in the tubes, 4 or 5-year-olds.
Goku, like in the movie, is roughly 39 to 40, probably.
So does the Ginyu Force not age?
No, I don't think. I don't know.
I guess
that was a nice touch, seeing all the Ginyu Force again and seeing the pink fat guy, I don't remember his name.
Dodoria.
And Zarbon. It felt good. It was like, much as these guys are just idiots, I'm like, this felt good to see them again.
I guess Raccoon's not human because he's the same age in the past as he is now.
I mean, none of them are human. Humans are too weak.
You get what I mean?
I mean, the strongest human in the Dragon Ball world is Krillin.
Yeah, and I need you to watch the anime, because that actually becomes real. Like, they actually officially make Krillin the strongest human on Earth, and I
have watched all original Dragon Ball, and I watched Dragon Ball Z up to when Cell first comes along. Then I met my wife and stopped watching.
Yeah, there's a part in Super where y'all can correct me on this, I'm probably wrong. They find Roshi has them go look for some flower that he eats, why he's like 1,000 years old. And I think it's implied that the reason why Roshi sent them is so Krillin could know where the flower grows, so he can become the next strongest person in the world.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Krillin is how do I say this? Sneaky. Like he's not like the strongest person, but he has the solar flare, so he can blind someone and then do damage to them. He can crafty. He's very crafty. He's not strong, but he's crafty, and he can use his strength to fight.
All right, I know a little bit, so but I am curious about Super. I just don't have Crunchyroll. I might get it at some point though. I have too many streaming services at the moment, so.
Don't get me started with Super.
I need to cancel a few before I start fucking around a little bit more.
Oh, and because technically, like we talked about, this movie kind of made some stuff canon. I don't think they ever confirm that Raditz was on the same team as Vegeta and Nappa.
It's never been said that I know of for this, but it kind of, I guess it's kind of always been implied because Nappa and Vegeta and Raditz were like
alive.
They were alive, and plus like Nappa and Vegeta were listening to the scout. Raditz the scouter. That's how they found out about the Dragon Balls. Yeah, so it's kind of implied that they were sort of a team.
Okay. Oh, what were you gonna say, Barry?
Oh, I said that it's always been implied that they're a team, and that's why they're the ones that survive.
I liked seeing young Raditz and young Vegeta. I thought that was a really cool touch.
Adorable.
I like young Raditz. He's like, you have a brother too? He's like, yeah, I guess I do. Like,
yeah. Vegeta has a brother.
His name is
which I guess wasn't canon until this movie.
No. It's a Dragon Ball Z special. If now you're watching movies, we could always watch that one. His name is Tarbal.
Tarbal. I want more Tarbal really bad. I love Tarbal.
Yeah, there's the specials, which they were like never really like truly released here. They were only released, in Japan or on a video game in one case.
You have a Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans, which was in.
That was in Raging Blast 2.
And then you have the Bardock Special, which was a tie-in for the Kinect.
Oh, God. I have that game, by the way, Dragon Ball Z Kinect.
What the fuck? Why?
Because I got it for $5.
Oh, that's fair.
That's too
Never
much.
played it. Never will. But I own it.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what happens if Barry or John can remind me. So in the original Brawly movie, they never leave the planet. I think they throw Brawly and his dad away in a big garbage chute. And whenever the planet blows up, somehow Brawly's power saved him and his dad.
Yes, he basically put a shield around them and flew them out as the planet was exploding, which is just ridiculous and stupid enough that I love it.
I had also forgotten that all the Saiyans, the few Saiyans that survived, didn't realize Frieza destroyed their planet, except for, I think Goku knew that, right? Because isn't that talked about in the Frieza arc back then?
I think the only way Goku knew it was because King Kai.
Okay.
It's been years since I've watched DBZ, but
Sorry, that sound right? Was it King Kai or?
I don't remember how he found out, but I know he found out. I believe it might have been King Kai after the fact, because he was getting information about Frieza.
Yeah.
Because he was going to go fight him, and King Kai was very oh, it's Frieza. What are you doing? You can't just go up there. And
I do like how powerful he is in this movie too. I do want to talk about Brawly's father when you first get introduced Brawly on the planet. Especially when it's been years later, and then the two little goofy Frieza squad people that show up there. I like both of them a lot.
Chilai is awesome.
I like that. Yeah, that girl is awesome. I liked her.
I can't. There's a scene with her in another Dragon Ball thing, and it is hilarious.
That is the goddamn elasticity on that fucking armor is goddamn. Someone.
Yeah, we're supposed to move. She's see the armor stretches.
Yeah,
they knew what they were doing when they made her, and I'm happy that those people knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing because goddamn those fucking 8 frames of animation are drawn lovingly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just cute. They were really cool little characters to be in here. But Brawly's father is such a piece of shit.
He's worse in the original movie.
Okay. Because at first you see that collar around Brawly, I'm like, what is that? And then when you realize he's if he doesn't listen to what I do, I shock him.
Well, I mean, it's because if Broly goes too far, he's unstoppable. I mean, he could destroy a planet with a flip of a finger. So you do kind of need a way to stop him, but that is a bit over the top.
Well, he uses it even when he just won't do what he says.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it if you have something that is a situation where, okay, shit hit the fan, you're about to destroy the planet that we're living on, I'm going to hit the button, not, you didn't come over to me when I said come.
The worst part was when he, shot the ear off of Broly's monster friend. I'm like, okay, that's the worst thing I think that they show that he's done in the entire movie. That's a level above evil.
Yeah,
he
and
made
then
a friend. Right? No, I just thought that guy, like, when that guy finally does get killed near the end of this movie, I'm like, good, fuck you.
yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then and then you have the moments too where he's also like, quit talking to fucking people. I don't want you making friends. We're not here to make friends. Fucking come on, let's
Broly
go.
is a tool for him.
Yes.
That's all Broly is. He's a tool for his revenge.
He also
But I
shot
guess-
that guy.
The idea is that Saiyans really weren't great, were they?
No.
No, not at all.
They weren't nice people. Also,
This is
why
actually, they made Bardock in this like way nicer than they did in the original special because he was a dick in the original special, and he's
Okay.
actually
like,
seems to be a pretty cool dude in this.
I like how he is in this. I like that even his wife makes that comment like, you care about your kid? That's not normal for us Saiyan male, like for Saiyan males. Like he's like, I don't know. I guess I'm tired of destroying all the time. Like, it's cute little moments, I thought, that really good character building. I mean, everything with the planet is really cool to see, like with the Vampa planet and the way that Broly survived and just how powerful he is on this planet. But Broly's not really a villain in this either. Like, yes, he's the antagonist, but he's not a villain.
No.
I think that's that, and I'm glad they did that. Like, I wasn't expecting that. There is one brief 1 second scene in here where they show the tournament and they show like all the people he fought because Goku's like, I want to get stronger because the tournament taught me I'm not strong enough. And I just like, it made me go, I really should watch Super someday.
Oh, you should, yeah.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
I will kind of crap on Super quite a bit because it has a lot of problems and stuff that I hate. It's got some really good stuff too. I think it's got more bad stuff than good stuff in my opinion, but the good stuff is really good.
My only real problem with Super is the way they treated Boo.
Oh yeah.
Is
Yeah,
he not very
very well.
powerful? Or what they do
he's
to him?
very powerful, but every
He's
time
too
they said
powerful.
about,
They have to
they-
write him out.
yeah, they pretty much said about, oh, Boo's gonna fight. Oh, he went to sleep. Oh, Boo's gonna fight. Oh, he fell asleep again. Oh, he just keeps going to sleep.
That's stupid.
It's just like with Resurrection F. Like, Boo didn't fight. Boo was asleep. He didn't fight Frieza. If he had shown up, he would have won that battle. So they sideline him because he's too powerful. Even though he's immature, he's just so powerful. You can't have a character like Boo come in and then just get annihilated because that makes everyone else look infinitely weaker because everyone else had troubles with Boo so much. And yeah, in Battle of the Gods, Beerus tosses Boo aside, but he doesn't obliterate him. Boo's not dead. He can come back. He just doesn't want to fight. He's not man enough to keep going. In this, we're not talking about gods of destruction. We're talking about characters throughout all of Super that are significantly weaker than gods of destruction, and Boo would wipe the floor with them,
Okay.
especially if you piss them off. So they just keep putting them to sleep.
You think they'd come up with something better?
And,
I mean,
and one of the
they
reasons
even-
they're like, for this tournament, we want an educational test. Everyone's got to be smart enough, and Boo falls asleep on the test because he's bored.
They even go through the trouble of like giving Boo a new form.
Yep, a
You
brand
get
new
to see
form.
it once of him just like flying, and then he's like, "Oh crap, I trained too hard. Time to go to sleep."
Yeah. Okay, that's dumb. But
It's,
I'm still curious about it.
Oh, Super is definitely worth watching.
Oh, the Super, yeah. The Goku Black arc is worth it for alone. That is my favorite arc in the entire thing. But
That arc,
So much of that.
that
Just
arc
like
has
toys.
that arc has a rough start from what I heard though.
it also has one of the greatest lines in an anime ever.
We're not
It-
talking about it here.
No.
It also has the same thing that happened with Broly. We wrote ourselves into a corner. How do we fix
Uh-huh.
this? Oh, let's do the BS button and save ourselves. The only thing that was happy is at least Trunks was, victorious in a sense, but he again pulls something magical out of his butt, and then that's still not enough. So let's call upon, I don't want to spoil it, but it's just, if you watch it, you're like, yeah, they had no idea how to end this, so they did the BS ending.
Well,
Also,
another thing
just be prepared for it whenever you do watch Super. The stuff that covers the first two movies that we've already watched is god awful.
that's what. Yeah, I remember you guys saying that. Hey, at least this doesn't have an arc, and I assume won't have an arc in the show because the show. I'm assuming they come back. So
No,
No.
not yet.
I wouldn't say they're god awful. There's enjoyment to be had.
They're not. They're not great.
I'll get to him someday. The whole
Vegeta
idea
on a
that
vacation is fantastic. I don't care what you say.
That one's good.
the whole idea of Frieza coming to get the Dragon Ball just because he wants to be 5 centimeters taller, I think is hilarious.
Is
But
it?
Hmm?
Go ahead. I say, is it weird that they compare it to Bulma's wish though?
I mean, that Bulma's wish. I think it's the idea that if you have everything, what do you need to wish for?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Bulma just wants to look 5 years younger because if she looks too young, people will comment, which I also find is hilarious because it pretty much implies that she's done it before.
No, she has.
Which I think is hilarious. But I mean, like, I get it. You look at Frieza, like, you guys made the comment that essentially, Space Hitler, like, what does he need? He doesn't need a lot. So he's like, I want to be a little bit taller because, especially after him becoming more powerful and becoming Gold Frieza, like we see in this, he doesn't have really anything to fear. He has the Frieza Force. The only thing he's scared of is Goku and Vegeta on one planet. He just stays away from. So he just doesn't want to deal with them because they will murder him. I think that's cool.
Frieza's just petty.
Well, yeah, I mean, and Frieza has always been a petty character. That's just Frieza, I feel like. And I really hate Frieza. I don't think I ever will like Frieza. That voice still bothers me to this day. I do not like Frieza's voice. I just can't. I've never liked it.
I like Frieza's voice, and since that voice actor passed away, it's been like, oh, that's like getting to hear that voice again is kind of like.
Oh, she passed away since this movie?
He did. Christopher Ayers.
Oh, it's a guy?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
He passed. I don't remember if it was.
When I was a kid, I always thought Frieza was a woman because of the voice.
I believe the original voice actor was.
Oh, okay, there's a different voice actor from the Dragon Ball Z
I'm
stuff.
not 100% sure on that one. That you might have to fact check that one, but
I'm not concerned enough. But that voice, no matter what, that voice bothers me. I hate the voice. I don't have a reasonable answer. I just hate that voice. Sometimes that happens to me on the show. There's just something I run into, and I'm like, I despise this. Why? I don't have a good answer. I just do. Voice bothers me. But I like the idea of Frieza bringing Broly and being the test is Broly fighting them. Like, I do like that. Like, all the fight scene, I was surprised how intense this fight gets. Because first you have Broly fights Vegeta, and Vegeta just slowly gets a little bit more powerful, but they make everything work in here where it's not really boring. Like, it's not a boring fight, even though it takes 40 minutes. It's not boring. 50 minutes of them fighting. So I'm not super familiar with all the stuff. Like, Vegeta, he goes Super Saiyan. Later on, he goes Super Saiyan God, which is the red hair, correct?
Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
And then Super Saiyan Blue God is stronger?
Yes.
It's Super Saiyan
So-
God, Super Saiyan.
Yeah. So basically, like, it's technically the red form should just be called Saiyan God and not Super Saiyan. I don't know why they went to calling it because it's not technically Super Saiyan.
That's true.
It's the base form of the God. It's basically their base form, but their God power. And then Super Saiyan Blue is their Super Saiyan form of their God.
Okay. And
It's stupid.
did we get the Blue Saiyan before?
And the
Yeah.
Frieza, Resurrection F.
That's why I look
That was where it was first introduced. And
Okay.
one of probably the least impressive outshowing of a new form in the show ever.
I couldn't remember. So they never go Super Saiyan 2 or 3, do they, in this? Correct?
Not really.
No, they don't really go Super Saiyan 2 or 3 ever.
Okay. So I
Especially
remember, because you get more cocky, right? So there's just no point.
For the most part, they've pretty much gotten over that. They can control that now, but it's just they just go to blue.
I guess if you have more powerful, why bother?
Pretty much.
Which I will say, this movie is I think the first time I ever thought Super Saiyan Blue looked cool,
It does look cool.
and that it's probably the best transformation ever when Goku goes blue. That might be my favorite transformation in all of Dragon Ball. It's so clean. It looks so cool. How much effort it takes. I love it. That's how blue should have always been. It should have taken effort to go blue, no matter
Yeah,
what.
that
That should have been
sounds
a form of like, you can't just switch it on and off. You have to it
Get
takes effort to do. Yeah, but I hate that it's just a switch anymore.
Like the thing with Broly, because he doesn't go Super Saiyan until like way later in this movie or way later in this fight. What does he do? Is there a name for that power up he does before?
No.
Oh.
No, it's like he's using the power of the great ape while not transforming to a great ape. It's about as much explanation as we ever get about what he did there.
Okay, and that's something new for this character in this movie, correct?
It's for the most part.
Yeah,
kinda.
it's kind of a mix of basically what happens in the original Brawly movie, because like you have original Brawly that looks like a regular Saiyan, and then when he goes Super Saiyan, Legendary Super Saiyan, that's when he becomes a big buff monster man. They kind of decide to keep him kind of permanently in the middle until he turns Super Saiyan.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
I also appreciate how the other two characters, the Frieza Squad ones that become his friend, that steal the stupid electric thing from his father's, which is what leads to him getting more and more powerful because his father doesn't realize how strong he can become.
My favorite part is the part where I think Vegeta's sparring with him, and he turns Super Saiyan, and like the fucking dad goes, "What the fuck is that?" And it's like, "That's Super Saiyan. You guys can't go Super Saiyan," and they're like, "No, what? That's not real." And it's like, oh yeah, freeze. Everyone's so used to seeing it, they forgot to ask these new dudes if they even knew what being a Super Saiyan was.
And then saying God they'd never seen before ever, so there's that too. It's damn cool. And just the way, like, I mean, they almost kill Broly a couple times, it feels like, in this fight, but then he just keeps getting stronger and stronger.
It's almost like he has if a Saiyan gets close to death, they get more powerful. It's almost like Broly has that, but it's not like he's getting close to death every time, or maybe he is. I don't know. It's like he can do that. They call it the Zenkai boost, I think. It's like that he can do that without almost like getting killed, or maybe he does almost get killed. It's kind of how I see it a little bit.
I think what they say it's him. I want to say, if anything, it's him becoming more and more out of control. And it's because like you kind of see him to where you at least see his eyes for the most part. And I want to say right before he becomes Super Saiyan, like they're basically gone. So it might be that. It might be him just kind of like whenever you see him do that gasp. Like I get what you're saying, where it kind of like hits him dying. It might just be him being more pissed off and he's losing like consciousness.
Why does Vegeta leave the fight and then Goku joins? I can't remember. Even I'm watching it right now, but I don't remember what triggers it. Or I guess he just can't beat him, so Goku joins.
They don't like fight somebody at the same time because they don't want to like get in on each other's turf. They want to have a turn basically, and then when Vegeta comes in, he's like, it's clear that neither one of us can beat him by ourselves. We got to work together, which is really weird for Vegeta to say.
It is cool though. Like there are parts when Goku's fighting him, like when Broly just pushes him through all the ice, and the way the animation is done is fucking awesome.
When he Hulk slams him into the ground like Loki, yeah,
it's badass. Because then you have Goku fight him for a bit, and then finally after, because he still doesn't go super. Does he?
He doesn't go blue until after he talks.
Okay, but then when they're underground, because they're underground, right, where the lava is.
That part was cool.
Yes, that was
badass.
That was in Super Saiyan Blue, I believe.
Okay, but it's when they're down there, that's when Frieza decides to make the biggest mistake and kills the father just because he's an asshole.
Well, we also miss this thing, which it's always a big anime movie thing, and Dragon Ball Z does it a lot, and a lot of other animes do it too. I'll compare it to something else that happens I'm familiar with, but you also see a really weird scene of Goku being a Super Saiyan God, and he somehow manages to freeze like Broly, and that's never explained. And that's not. I'm gonna tell you right now, Mike. I don't know. I don't think that's ever in the show either. Barry, John,
I don't remember that ever in the show.
Yeah, and they just do weird shit like this in the movies for some reason.
I was wondering about that too when he freezes time. I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
That's kind of an energy that there is kind of a thing of like they can, but because like how they block energy blasts is them like channeling their energy through their body to use like a burst of energy to deflect the blast, like if they swat it away. But it is kind of like maybe he is projecting his energy into Broly or over Broly to kind of stop him. That's
okay. I was just curious and
asshole there, but
I do think it's a nice touch how Broly goes Super Saiyan after his father dies. Because I mean, kind of how Goku first got Super Saiyan is because Krillin died, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's exactly what Frieza was banking on.
It gives me reminders, and it's funny. It's also looped back to Dragon Ball Z. I don't know about Mike. I know Mike probably didn't. Did you ever watch the Naruto movies?
I did not.
I've seen I've seen all the Shippuden ones. I think I've seen all the original Naruto ones, but I don't remember most of them.
We were talking about it earlier. Well, like in the Naruto movies, they always had something where he would do like a movie Rasengan, like a rainbow Rasengan. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Dragon Ball Z is also like that. Like we were talking about how in Broly he uses like a super punch that's with everyone's energy, which is essentially like a move he'll never do again. Or, which is always my favorite, I don't know if you knew this, Mike, in Lord Slug, Goku transforms into Super Saiyan. His hair's not gold, it's just spiked up. And even King Kai goes, oh my god, Goku's turned to the legendary Super Saiyan. And it's not even the same one from the show.
So there's a little bit of context on that one. That movie came out before Super Saiyan debuted in the manga. And that was the original Super Saiyan was going to be kind of a reddish brown, but Toriyama's artist came to him and like, you got to make it yellow or something else because we can't denote the colors on the page if it's that color. Like I think if it's yellow, it comes out like white on the manga.
Yeah.
So that was the original reason it changed.
Okay.
And the actual name for that movie in Japan is something like Super Saiyan Son Goku or something like that. If you go look up the Japanese names for those movies, they literally are absolutely ridiculous.
I'm not
They
surprised.
also call it like it's been dubbed like pseudo
It's like Proto Super Saiyan or
where he almost makes it, but he doesn't fully.
I do want to watch more of these movies now. Once I finish these 4, which we got one left now after this, I might start going into the Z movies and stuff because I've been tempted on a few.
I do want to point out that once again, Frieza has to fight a Super Saiyan of his own creation in an apocalyptic volcano hellscape.
I like how they trick. They're like, "Yep, here you go, Frieza. Have fun." They just fly over Frieza, so he attacks Frieza. I like that. Is this the first time that they ever done a fusion together besides the earring?
In canon, they do
Canon,
one in
yeah.
one of the other movies.
Okay.
But
Fusion Reborn, they do it as well. That's where it originally. And for the longest time, people were like, "Oh, Vegeta versus Gogeta." Well, but Vegeta's canon because it's in the anime and the manga, and Gogeta's not canon. And now it's like, nope, now Gogeta's canon too. And after they retconned the Patara earrings, now they're both exactly identical in strength, pretty much, because the Patara earrings was supposed to be this like super powerful, fusion that can never be broken. So you have to be use it wisely, and that's now up in the air. And now, now it only lasts for a short amount of time, and it comes undone. Which is the exact same thing as the dance.
It's weird. I mean,
only Supreme Kai's, they're the ones that it lasts forever.
That's not
other
true.
People, it lasts an hour.
the earrings, the idea of it was you fuse, but you fuse forever. So choose wisely. Why would you retcon that? Like,
because they first had to separate Goku and Vegeta again, and then they left it. Like GT never touched that. It was Super that retconned it, and suddenly in Super, Supreme Kai and Kibito were separated. And they're like, oh yeah, turns out we can separate. And then
they made a wish on the Namekian Dragon Balls, I believe, if I remember right.
Maybe that was it. But
that would
then
make more sense.
They use it again against Goku Black, and based on how much energy they use, it shortens the time, and they no longer are permanent.
Goku Black, that is the arc where because Vegeta asked, like, wait, weren't these permanent if we do this? And I think what the what's his name, the Green Supreme Kai from the other universe is like, that is only permanent if it is with a Kai. If it's anyone else, it lasts. Unless you're like pumping God
changing
powers.
the rules. There's in essence, there's no difference between the Patara earrings and the fusion dance anymore.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Except for the time. Well, the time limit's longer.
I don't like that. I like the fact that the fusion dance is a shorter thing that when you do it. I also think the way they do the fusion dance in this is really good too.
Okay, so this edible's starting to kick in. Do you guys have 3 minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so I will say the American version and the Japanese version because these movie titles are awful, and that's why I've been quiet for the last 5 minutes. I've been reading them, trying not to laugh, and I didn't get to the end. Dead Zone is Return My Gohan in Japan.
Yep.
The World's Strongest is The World's Strongest Guy in Japan. Tree of Might is A Super Decisive Battle for Earth in Japan. Lord Slug is in fact Super Saiyan Son Goku. Cooler's Revenge is The Incredible Strongest versus Strongest. Return of Cooler, which I'm surprised they made two.
This is the good one.
The Cooler one, I'm surprised. I didn't know the movies came out back to back. That's actually really funny. The Return of Cooler is Clash, 10 million powerful warriors.
What the hell?
It's so stupid.
Super Android 13, which is also my favorite Dragon Ball Z movie, is Extreme Battle, the 3 Great Super Saiyans, which is weird because Trunks is in that movie for like 5 minutes. How the Brawly movie is titled Burn Up, a red hot, raging, super fierce fight. They are not doing anything for these titles. BoJack Unbound is The Galaxy at the Brink, the super incredible guy.
I don't think I heard that one.
Broly Second Coming is The Dangerous Duo, Super Warriors Can't Rest. Bio Brawly is Super Warrior Defeat, I'm the One Who'll Win. Fusion Reborn is The Rebirth of Fusion, Goku and Vegeta, which is fine. Wrath of the Dragon is Dragon Fist Explosion, if Goku won't do it, who will? And
Awful.
And then Battle of the Gods is Kami to Kami.
God to God.
God to God.
That seems alright.
Yeah.
I told you they're amazing. I'm happy you looked it up.
Bad.
I agree.
Yeah, the American names are infinitely better.
And they're still
And
some of
if
them are
you
still
like,
not good.
if you watch the trailers, the Japanese trailers, it literally basically spoils the end of the fight for all the movies.
Of course they do.
I mean, to be fair, I can spoil the end of fight and of all these movies. I haven't seen any. Goku wins. Okay.
Because Japan does not give a rat's ass about spoilers at all. They never have. They
Really?
never will.
Is that like a whole thing where they're like they care more about the movie than the ending kind of thing?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. That is definitely fair.
Back to the fusion thing real quick. I also want to, okay, they don't exactly mention it in this, but I'm going by Dragon Ball Z rules because it's funnier. Fusions last 30 minutes, and then you have to wait 30 minutes before you can do the fusion. They didn't like say that in this movie about you have to wait 30 minutes, but if you think about it, Frieza had to, air quotes, fight Broly for possibly like 2 to 3 hours. At least in I would say 2 hours, because you got to teach Vegeta the technique. You fuse, you wait 30 minutes. If there's, because they never say anything about the wait time after the fusion breaks. So they do the fusion again, they screw it up, they have to wait another 30 minutes. So you're talking at least probably close to 2 hours that Broly just pounds Frieza into the ground, which is hilarious. And I like the Dragon Ball Z because it's like 3+ hours, and if you go by Dragon Ball Z rules.
Okay, so
It's a
I'm
bit
glad.
goofy.
I'm glad you said that, Mike. I keep telling you I need to get into fucking some kind of video editing. I need to see if someone already did it where they edit it to like SpongeBob. Yeah, like in SpongeBob where it's like him and Patrick talking and they're like, "Oh, I wonder where Squidward is," and it's just him getting his ass kicked, and it goes back and they're like, "Oh, I'm sure he's fine," and it goes back to him still getting his ass kicked. I need to edit that where it's like, "Oh, you guys need to do better," and it's playing really like angry SpongeBob music while fucking Frieza's getting his ass kicked.
Well, I have a question for Barry. What do you think of Gogeta in this as being the first time we get him in canon?
I thought they did a good job. I mean, it was always one of those things established where, with Vegito, it was Vegeta being the more dominant one, so he was more serious, and with Gogeta, it was Goku being the more dominant one, so he was a little more cocky and more playful. And I always liked that idea that depending on how they fused, each of them had a different dominance. And it makes sense. I mean, if you see GT and you see Gogeta there, I mean, the cockiness, the playfulness there almost cost him the fight, in the sense of like Vegito versus Boo, where his cockiness almost cost the fight. So it just shows how flawed both of these Saiyans are, and even together, they're not the best of both of them. They still have one of the weaknesses at play, and enhanced, like, to a better degree.
Okay. So I'm assuming Whis could have killed Broly if he wanted to, right?
No, yes, but no.
Okay.
Angels cannot fight except for training purpose. If they fight, they die.
Oh.
Or the like Grand Priest will kill them, or it's something. But like if they actually, like, outside of training purposes, they cannot fight.
Okay.
So, but he can dodge him all day freaking long, and Broly can't do a darn thing to him, because I mean even Beerus can't touch Whis. But yeah, angels. Later in the manga, there is an angel who like breaks the rules and does fight to stop a super, like, somebody who took down Goku and Vegeta at like their max power, and he gets wiped out.
Okay. The Gogeta stuff in here I thought was really good. It doesn't. I mean, Gogeta takes out Broly pretty quickly. Like the power level is just insane of the difference, and I really like this fight. Like, I like when he shows up and he's pretty much about to kill Broly before this movie ends too. Because I'm assuming Broly would not have survived that attack. That's how I took it.
Yeah, I think he also probably kind of like figured out what was going on when the sky went dark, and was like, okay, this is like, I need to hold him, and kind of use the Kamehameha as a fear tactic more to pause him long enough for the wish to go through. I may be pulling that on my ass.
Seems like a realistic answer.
Oh crap! What was I going to say? Oh, also,
I mean, it does feel like you pulled it out of your ass, but it does seem like a realistic answer.
I think, and I need to actually go back, because I watched this last night, and like as soon as I got done, I went to watch something else. When they do the Kamehameha, I think it's only Goku's voice. You don't hear the mixture, but I might be off on that. I ought to listen to it again. But I thought that was an interesting detail of like, hey, it's Goku's attack, so let's blend out the Vegeta mix in the voice and have it just be Goku's voice.
I have a weird question. Are we just gonna ignore the fact that they both fired an attack and opened like the Nega Zone and fought in there for like a good 15 fucking minutes? Are we not gonna question that?
they completely ignored it everywhere else. But
Like that movie goes pretty fucking hard, and that part's fucking crazy.
so when that actually happened, there were a lot of people going like, "Oh, the next arc is going to be like them going into some like Ant-Man Quantum Verse style, like other universe that no one knows about, or bringing something out of it." It never happened, but that would have been cool.
I think that was just movie effects. Honestly, they want to have fun for a little bit.
Oh yeah,
I do want to say the animation in here is so damn good of the fight, like, especially when they go in like the colored world place, wherever the hell they're doing. Like it look, I would have loved to have seen this on the big screen.
Same.
it was
Oh.
it was gorgeous on the big screen.
This-
Also, I'm going to say the music in this is fantastic. That Broly theme is amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the music in here too.
yeah.
I like how you can hear like they're like Broly, like just starts at one point. I'm like, this is cool. Like,
There's also
I like this.
there's a bunch of weird Easter eggs. The two of y'all can probably answer for me. Like, this is Gogeta, right?
Yes.
Gogeta does like the hand like spin like at the taunt. I think he does that in like the game or something. The titty flash is also in the game too as a taunt. But there's a very specific part that I think is supposed to be like a weird also Easter egg, because since the movies are kind of canon, there's a part where it's like right before the dragon comes out, Goku does like this weird rainbow attack. Doesn't that attack like in the movie like disintegrate evil or something?
It's called, I want to say, and I might be pulling this out of the really old memory of something. I think it's called the Infinity Crusher.
Barry.
Don't remember.
Okay. I just remember whenever I watched something, they were talking about how that's an Easter egg, and that's how you can prove that Broly isn't evil, because it didn't instantly kill him or something.
Okay. I mean, you can tell Broly isn't evil because like when the girl finally makes the wish, that her wish is to have the dragon save Broly and sends Broly back to his world where he's from. Like Broly's just content just to be there. He just, he was just fighting because his father is a piece of shit.
Also, Frieza's a piece of shit.
Well, yes, that too. But I have more respect for Space Nazi than I do for this piece of shit father.
At least he admits he's a space Nazi.
So that's part of it too for me, is I really dislike his father because I just do not like not like that type of character.
It is called the Soul Punisher.
Okay.
That's cool. That's cool as fuck.
There's a very small scene in this movie when they do like the Kamehameha and the Gallic gun next to each other. That was really cool.
Or they
I do
switched
appreciate
to,
they
like,
don't.
the video game graphics for a little bit.
I appreciate they don't kill Broly. I think that's a nice touch that Broly survives this movie. So if they want to do stuff with him again, they can. I think that was a really good
Goku
thing.
was actively trying to get, because Goku was like, you don't really want to fight. You're like, he was trying to actively get him to calm down, and it almost thought it was going to work, and then it didn't.
But this is a really nice touch, and then Frieza I like how Gogeta stops, because Frieza is about to blow up the ship of the two guys that, use the Dragon Balls, and I thought they were going to like kill Frieza or take Frieza captive, but they just go, bye Frieza, see you later.
Yeah, it just grabs his hand.
Yeah, like why would you want to just leave Frieza? Like maybe you should stop Frieza, but I guess Goku's like, I can beat you anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Dumbest reason to leave a supervillain alive.
Yeah, but it does fit Goku though.
Oh yeah.
They're also in their very stupid fusion form where they think with their fucking ass. So it also makes sense why they wouldn't kill him either.
They tried to kill him though.
That's true.
That blast, I think, would have killed him had it hit him.
No, I mean Frieza. Like yeah.
Okay, yeah, never mind. That makes sense. And I don't think Goku like really tries to kill people unless he absolutely has to.
That's fair too. Yeah.
Vegeta, on the other hand, yes.
Fight.
I've seen,
What were you gonna say?
I've seen Vegeta kill for less. So yeah.
Yeah, but I just think it's really good that Broly does survive. That they put him essentially back into box to use at some other time in some other arc. I do like that, and I like how it's just really a guy who just like he's like, I just want to live here. I don't want to deal with all this bullshit.
It kind of makes me sad because I wonder what we would have next, because Super in the manga kind of has a little bit of an extra ending. I'll get into that whenever we do superhero, but I feel like we're gonna get a lot more. I don't know if we're gonna get a lot more. I know they confirmed that whenever Toriyama died, they were like, oh yeah, the next arc might actually just be the end of Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if that's Dragon Ball Super. I don't know if they might continue it with saying it's not. It'll be a different arc.
Though I know that.
Yeah, it's being written by his son, but I don't know if they're ending Super in general though. Like I don't know if they're gonna make one big final arc, or if it's gonna be like, oh, this is the end of Super, and then his son's gonna make more Dragon Ball. It's just not gonna be Super.
I hope so.
They just can like either I read that this morning or yesterday morning. I can't remember. They just confirmed it is coming back next year for a Trunks and Goten special. That they're
cool.
coming back. I'm not like it's not Toriyama of but I don't know if they're going to like tie it into where Super is now. If it's going to be like a continuation where after the manga stopped, but it's supposed to be kind of a special manga run of Trunks and Goten. And I can't remember if it said anything about the main story or not. I don't think it did.
They might be testing the waters. If people like that, then they might continue. If not, then they'll just end the series. Probably my thought, because my ongoing theory from where everything leaves off, because Super does it very well. I think they're redoing what they want to do with the beginning of Dragon Ball, the last arc of Dragon Ball Z, where they were going to make Gohan the main character, but it pissed people off. I think they're going back to that, and they might have it to where they might introduce that Goten might also get his own individual adventures, and if people are fine with that, then they might go that direction. But if people are going to be pissy, they're going to do what they did originally with Dragon Ball Z, where it's like, nope, fuck it then. We're going to have one big final arc where Goku's the main character and everything, and then just not worry about the series anymore.
And we have Daima going right now, which I know like a lot of people say like Daima's really good. I have not started watching, but I have it because the English dub. I think either just started or it's starting in like
January.
Next year. January, okay. Yeah, I know a lot of people that I know are like Daima is some of the best fights that Dragon Ball has had in a very long time.
Interesting.
Okay. The reason why why I wanted to do this movie and come back to why I wanted to come back to this anyway, but there was a event in real life where they're doing a Dragon Ball Daima tour that came to the state that I'm in, Minnesota, and I went to it, and I was just like, I just got all excited for Dragon Ball again. I probably won't watch Daima for years, but I was like, okay, I missed. I need to watch some Dragon Ball stuff.
I mean, Daima it starts immediately after Dragon Ball Z, so you don't need any Super to be able to watch it.
Oh, so is it canon?
Yeah, so here's the weird canon of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z is simple. However, the last 4 episodes of Dragon Ball Z, there is a time jump, like a 5-year time jump or so. So right before that happens, originally they put GT after those 4 episodes, but now they're like, well, Super comes before those 4 episodes. Now Daima comes before Super. So in between that jump, we have 2 series. It's ridiculous.
What the fuck?
That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
so is there even a fight in those last 4 episodes?
Yeah, there's a tournament. It jumps 4 years ahead or 5 years ahead, and there's a tournament.
I think it's like 10 years.
It might be 10, whatever. It's a good jump.
It's a jump.
You see older Goten, you see older Trunks. Pan is now older, and the whole idea is that they go to the tournament, and Goku is looking out for Oob, and he knows Majin Buu is back, and there's been peace. That no one has any new power. No one's Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan God. They're all just living their life in peace. Goku finds Oob, takes him away to train, and that's the end of DBZ. So GT takes place after that. But now Super is like, no, it comes in between that time jump. So now when you watch those 4 episodes, you're like, well, I guess Goku has Super and he's just pressing it the whole time. It's so weird.
I mean, they have said that they're going to try, they still want to try to get to where GT started. Like that is, which I find is really fucking weird, but okay.
I think it's funnier because there's very specifically a line at the end of Z, whenever they do those 4 episodes, where it's, oh, hey, it's like, I'm quoting fucking Dragon Ball Z, but I've said I wouldn't, but this is the only time I will, where it's like, hey, Goku, we haven't seen you in 10 years. And they're like, what are you talking about? We just saw Beerus like 2 weeks ago. Oh, yeah, whatever happened with that Brawly guy?
Did we ever stop Frieza?
Did we ever stop Frieza? I don't know.
Yeah, well, they have to because, if you count GT, Frieza's in hell. So Frieza has to be stopped.
Oh my god, that's such a funny way to think that up. If they kill Frieza in Frieza Black and they just fucking go, we're leaving him in hell.
That's great.
I mean, some people don't count GT as canon, but because Toriyama didn't have his hand in it. But at this point, I do.
If I had in both hands and I was over a cliff and I had Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan 4 in each hand and I had enough strength to pull both of them up, I would let go of Super Saiyan God to pull up Super Saiyan 4.
Super Saiyan 4 is so good.
It's so good. Yes. I love 4 so much more than God because it's more monkey themed.
Well,
4 is cool.
Well, then there's also Super Dragon Ball Heroes as well. If you want to count that.
Also,
actually, it has the best Super Saiyan 4 look, in my opinion, by a mile.
That's not canon.
No,
Or it's
it's
in another
not.
universe.
Also, I keep saying it, Mike. You know how they did the fusion dance in this?
Yeah.
I still need to get you to cover that Dragon Ball Z Gotcha game where you have to fuse all the characters together to get different characters.
What, isn't that Dragon
Is
Ball
it?
Fusion? You mean on
Yeah,
this 3DS?
on the 3DS. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a gotcha game. Yeah.
I've heard it's pretty fun.
Well, it's Gotcha because you have to get characters to a high rank and then fuse them to get better characters, and then just go from there to fusing people together.
I
At
do
least
want
it's
to
not
play it.
microtransaction.
Yeah, so I mean that's fine. That's not. I mean, I don't mind. I can just grind in the game for hours and hours and hours. Like that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but it's a fun gimmick. I know you like fun gimmicks. It's just a
I do.
gimmick.
The next Dragon Ball game I'm doing is Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury in March.
Is that
You did the first 2 Legacy of Goku games?
I did Legacy Goku 2.
You didn't do one?
I played one before. I don't want to replay one.
That's fair. One is ass.
I could never. I don't think I ever got past. I don't even remember if I got on Namek in one.
What? Yeah, I had such high hopes when one came out, and I got it at launch, and I was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be awesome." And boy, did I regret that purchase.
Fuck me. I should see if
It's
I have that.
Bad game. I mean, I've thought about doing it. No, we did Legacy Goku 2 probably like it's probably episode like 50 something. I know the crew I did it with. Like that's the original co-host. So it's before one of them leaves, which is in the 70s when the two of them leave. Like, yeah, it's a long time ago. We just never did Legacy 1, and I've been meaning to do Boo's Fury forever, and I'm like, fuck it, I want to play it. So, but yeah, again, I'm in a Dragon Ball mood. Like, it's sometimes that happens, and I want to do superhero sooner than later. So maybe next month or 2 months from now, I want to do superhero just to knock out all 4 of these good movies
Yeah.
of this set. So
Superheroes.
it looks good.
I also want to bring up the silly little nod at the end of the movie when Goku's is walking away after he gives them all the supplies and stuff, and he's like, my name's Goku, but Broly, you can call me Kakarot.
I did like that. I thought that was a good touch.
Yeah, because like in the original, they could not say his name because it would cause Broly to lose his freaking mind.
I'm curious to watch the first Broly movie
You should.
and Broly's Second Coming now at some point.
You should even watch Bio Broly. It's an hour. You might as well just do it. You're in a Dragon Ball.
I don't remember Bio
Okay.
Broly.
Bio Broly isn't the worst thing in the world. Like it has some merits. It's just the problem with Bio Broly is people compare it to the first Broly, and it's nowhere near as good as the first Broly. It's got some unique ideas on how he comes back, and different fighters. Like actual Android 18 gets some screen time in that one.
Okay. I mean, I'd be curious to watch. Once I finish these 4, I might eventually start. Like, I do want to watch the 2 Cooler movies for sure. So
Yeah.
We'll see. I haven't really decided yet, but I'm definitely curious.
We'll get you through all the Dragon Ball movies, and then we start Abridged. That's when the real stuff starts.
I'd go into Bridge. So
Abridged is amazing.
you are not the first person to try to sell me on that. Not gonna happen. Back when I was when I worked at one of my jobs when Super was first coming out, and I remember and I was watching Dragon Ball Z at home thanks to torrents, and I remember talking to a guy about a whole lot about what was going on in Super at the time. That was my big being involved with Dragon Ball. So, but I'm just I don't know, kind of getting that mood, and seeing the Daima event really got me excited for more Dragon Ball, and that was a really cool event too, to see how many people were all excited, and they sold out of all their toys pretty much that they were selling. They sold out of everything. It was impressive. People were buying model kits and all sorts of stuff here and selling them too, but online. But people were buying them. You could get a free bag too, but I was I want that bag, and I'm I don't want to wait in line. So, but yeah, you get a free backpack bag. It was actually really cool looking, but I was I don't care enough. I had other things to do.
I miss stuff like that. When I was a kid, they had the big Pokemon convention, and that was red and blue version, and so
I went to that.
Yeah, and they were having people having tournaments, and they gave you a bag full of goodies and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I went to that, and I fought in the tournament, and I lost both my games, both my matches.
Damn.
My team was not. I wasn't leveled up enough. I wasn't. Yeah, I was a kid. I didn't set up right. But if you won both your matches, you'd get a chance to go face someone on the big screen, and you could win a Mew. I think is what it was.
Mew.
I think it was that. I vaguely remember, but yeah, I because my parents don't change anything. It's in my old room. There's still a sticker on the wall that says Pokemon Tournament 95 or 94, whatever year it was. 96, whatever it was. There's still a decal on the window because nothing changes in my parents' house. So I think we should go to Shelf Stacker Box. And John, why don't you lead us in?
It's a shelf. I absolutely love this. I mean, I have it on my shelf, so I've had it on my shelf since the day it came out. It's of like everything Dragon Ball Super. It is my favorite thing in Dragon Ball Super by quite a bit. I think it's the best thing in Dragon Ball Super. So it's really good. I'm really happy I got to watch it. I don't think I've seen it since theater. If I have seen it, it's once.
I'm glad I gave you an excuse to watch
I
it again.
forgot how good it was.
And Joe.
It's also on the shelf. I really enjoyed this. I didn't think. Part of me was like, oh, this must be a little bit of fighting. I'm honestly surprised there's like 50 minutes of fucking fighting in this movie.
Me too.
Terrifyingly good. Other fact that I completely forgot about, and I remember just now, there's 2 versions of this movie technically out, because I wonder which one Crunchyroll has, because technically this movie is also before they fired Vic Mignogna and replaced him with Johnny Youngbosch.
Oh, for the
Blu-ray,
voice
what
actor?
version is that?
Yeah, Vic Mignogna voices Broly.
Not anymore.
What were you saying, Barry?
Oh, I don't know which version. Like, I watched the Blu-ray. I don't know which version that is.
It's Vic Mignogna on the Blu-ray, or at least the Blu-ray I have. It's Vic Mignogna.
Crazy.
Can you tell? How do you tell which one is it?
Probably on the back.
Once in the credits and 2 by ear, because once I hear voice actor, I can pick them out. I mean, I was sitting there watching the movie and Bardock came on. I was like, "Is that Sonny Strait, the guy who voices Krillin?" And got to the credits, I was like, "Yeah, it's Sonny Strait who voices Bardock. Cool."
Did that guy do some bad things then?
Yeah, Vic Mignogna. Okay. He voiced Broly in this, but he's known for as like Oron Host Club, and he's known as the main character for Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, he ended up being revealed to be like a huge creep, which, full offense, people have known for years. I had a friend that met him one time, and she said he was just a complete fucking weirdo around girls, underage girls.
So he's a pedophile.
There were some allegations of grooming, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you can't call him a pedophile because none of it was confirmed.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would say yeah, because I only say that because people have lawyers. But and I say that too because he technically got kicked off. He sued Funimation, and whenever they went to court, I think Funimation told him to fuck off because they had enough reason to fire him. And he's lucky, and basically lucky that, like, hey, you're lucky no one's come forward, or you should, be charged with some shit. And then he
just don't be a piece don't be a piece of shit, people. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I've never seen some of the voice actors came out in support of him for a while, and it was kind of a kerfluffle at the time of people kind of boycotting certain shows because of this voice actor was supporting him, and it was a heck of a time. I don't remember what year that was. That was 2016, 17?
During COVID, I think, yeah.
It might have been okay. It might have been.
I want to say the voice actor for Bulma and the voice actor for Goku, Monica Rial, and I can't think of his name, Mike Schemmel.
Sean Schemmel.
Yeah, Sean Schemmel. They actually went to court and testified against them, and then also had to defend themselves because he was suing them for defamation. But I think the idea
common.
Yeah, but it's funny enough because, like I said, he lost it because the judge was like, they have enough proof for your defamation, so you can suck an egg. And
that's quite common though. That's a very common tactic if somebody's coming out against you to countersue them to try to get them to go away. That's not that's a common tactic.
Yeah. Oh, he's also a huge holy roly. He very specifically doesn't like people asking him about his characters being gay, and he's been known to be incredibly mean to people whenever they bring it up. So he can suck my ass as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, good voice actor, terrible person.
Good voice actor, terrible person.
And it looks like we have a surprise fighter joining us for this last part. And who's with me?
This is Mario from Biased Gaming, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there for the main recording, guys. But apparently I had to be here for this because, again, this is my favorite one. But Mike said I had to be here because he gets how I'm passionate about it. So let's get into it.
You are. Raleigh. So we already talked about what is your history with the Brawley movie, with the DB's Super Brawley movie.
So this one specifically. Yes. I saw this one in theater. Sorry, I had to light my thing. So this one I saw in theaters with my wife, with Sierra. Actually, we were still dating at the time. This was our second or third year into it. But we went to go see it only because I got her into Dragon Ball a while back through the abridged stuff, which is the Team 4-Star stuff. And their version of Broly is pretty great. But this version of Broly, to me, not only tops the original and the parody stuff, but I don't think this Broly can be topped, honestly. This Broly is Dragon Ball version of Tarzan almost. Like, he's a wild man, but
That's fair.
there's something there that, had his dad not been the way he was, he could have been, he could have overthrown Frieza. I mean,
Yeah.
he only went into Super Saiyan form because of him killing Paragus, and he beat the shit out of him like nothing.
And that's Gold Frieza. That's not the weaker Frieza, that weird saying weaker Frieza. But yeah, his form before he goes gold, like Brawly could have been something else to hold up. And it's cool to see.
Well, if you're a fan like I am, again, Broly's awesome. I love the OG stuff, but this was just and fun fact, I met Broly, both of them.
Oh, both voice actors?
Yeah, I met Vic Magana. He's kind of a dick, but I met him, and then I met Johnny Young Bosch, who is the new official Broly.
Okay.
Adam
the guy
the-
from Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I bet that's how you have to be remembered,
Oh yeah, no. Well, I know him from Power Rangers, but also I know him from Devil May Cry also. But yeah, but no, Broly. This specific Broly, it's just like you feel bad for the guy. It's not just like, he's just so powerful because Goku cried as a kid and it annoyed the hell out of him, so he got super angry. And he's somehow, even though Saiyans can't survive in space, he somehow made him and his dad survive in space. That was the original stuff. It didn't drive. But this one is like, yeah, they're not gonna Vegeta's not gonna outright kill him, but we'll send him somewhere where we won't kill him, but he could still die, kind of thing,
Yeah.
And it turned out being kind of like the best thing for Broly and the best thing for Paragus. Yeah, they suffered, but I mean, look at all that protein they were eating from the bugs alone. Look at my boy, he's fucking shredded, and he's been living off his bug meat and what, some scraps or whatever around Vampa.
I do like how he doesn't know what water is, because all his liquid came from buggies.
Yeah, and then his design too, like his redesign, it was very reminiscent of the Hulk in that regard. Because if you like his aura, like no matter what, Broly's gonna be the Green Saiyan, yeah, but he's very reminiscent of, to me, the Hulk in this one specifically. Look at the shoes, look at the pants, look at the green aura, look at the intensity of it. It's straight up just he is their Hulk. He genuinely is. And that's why I think the whole death battle thing happened between Broly, this version of Broly, and the Incredible Hulk. And in that version, Broly wins. Barely, I might add.
No, that's completely fair. That's something that we didn't even mention. Like it does kind of like he is kind of like the Hulk for Dragon Ball. All right.
No, like you said, like I said before, I am passionate about this specifically. I have this one on my PS5. I have a disc copy of it somewhere, but I have it hidden purposely that way I don't find it and wreck it, because I probably will. You've seen my cosplay work. You've seen my Saiyan armor. Yeah, like this one. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a Dragon Ball movie. Yes, Goku's in it. Yes, this is Vegeta's in it. Yes, Frieza's the bad guy in this one, definitely. But this isn't a Z movie. This isn't a Z Warrior movie. This is a Broly movie. He is the protagonist. They are the antagonists.
100%.
And he is Jesus Christ. Oh my God, Broly was just they just made him that much better. And then his story with Chilai and Lemo. Lemo. Yeah, Lemo.
I don't
that was
remember.
The name. The orange dude was Lemo, and the green girl was Chilai. Oh, and you told me about Super. You want to do superhero? Oh, buddy, just wait for Chilai. Wait for what happens to Chilai.
I am going to do superhero at some point sooner than later, because I enjoyed this movie a lot, as I already said a few times.
Oh, yeah. But no, and then the intensity of the movie itself. I mean, when I saw it in theaters, this was a few days after the movie came out in theaters. People were fucking chanting. Sorry for the language, but we were chanting. My wife was chanting when it was the first view of Broly attacking Goku. That was. And then the mixture of the CGI animation with the classic animation, because that happened a lot in this movie, but the transition to it in a way that you could just barely tell it was either one.
Yeah, they did it really well. This would have been cool to see in theaters. I did not even know it existed, because I wasn't really into Dragon Ball, but it did look cool as hell.
Oh, and then don't get me wrong, I love Vegeta. Vegeta's my guy. My wife likes to say, "Oh yeah, you like Vegeta," and I'm like, "Boom!" I go, "You know what? Fuck you. Yeah, I'll take that." But nah, bro. If I ever want to be anybody from Dragon Ball, it would be this version of Broly specifically. He's just a fucking tank. And then when the green comes out, too, when the green finally comes out, that only happens after they break the dimensional barrier.
I mean, it is nice to see how powerful they make Broly in this, and just everything with it. I did really appreciate all that.
But yeah, no. Okay, so if you paid attention during the Gogeta and Broly fight, before Gogeta goes blue and right before Broly goes green, their hair only changes to those colors respectively when they break the dimensional plane into that weird cosmic-y looking hippie old school PC Mac screensaver thing.
Okay, I kind of remember.
Because after they get into that void of existence, their hair changes. And that just shows them that they grew in power to beyond what basically the others could do. Because obviously there's no green. And then this, if you look at I'm getting really into this. If you look at the hue of the blue itself, that it's more of Vegeta's blue at the end of the Super series.
Oh, and he goes like perfected blue or whatever it's called.
Evolution. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's and then it's just a great movie, and even the music itself. Did you guys talk about the music?
I think we did.
Oh my god, I have the music on my Spotify. It's on my workout mix of the Gogeta versus Broly fight because it's just the chanting, the boom, boom, boom. It's just let's go.
I'm assuming this in theaters for you was only a couple days, right? That it was like two showings or something.
It was in theaters for about a week and a half. Yeah, sounds about right.
That's pretty good for nowadays.
Well, this was back in 2018, 2017, 2018.
I don't know. I said that earlier, which was 2 weeks ago in the case of when I recorded that.
It's been a while. And then my kids love Broly. They prefer Broly over the other two movies because of me. But still.
Well, also, to be fair, each movie so far has gotten better and better and better. Of the ones that we've done. So I get that.
I mean, it's funny because they go from less cheesy. They go from cheesy to the Beerus one, and then the Frieza one's more of a serious one. But it's This one's just straight up serious with very minimal cheese, but it's enough to where it makes sense. Even to the very end of the movie where this movie basically says F you to the old school Broly at the end, because it does. And then there's Superhero, which is, to me, honestly, they're getting the perfect blend between the two of the serious and the comedy in Superhero, to me.
We'll save that because that will be coming up.
I will save that. But I mean, did you guys notice? Did anybody did Joe bring up the big FU to the old school Broly at the end of the movie?
Don't think so, but I don't remember.
So at the end of the movie, because we're basically skipping this one so we can get to the next one. But basically, in the nutshell, Broly wins. He wasn't going to die either way because he wasn't evil when he was going to get hit by Gogeta's
thing. That beam? Okay, we did talk about that.
That's why he wasn't, killed. That's why Gogeta looked shocked. But at the end of the movie, when Broly, Chile, and Lemon are back on Vampa, and Goku shows up right before he leaves, he goes, "Oh, what's your name?" "Oh, you can call me Goku, but Broly, you can call me Kakarot." That's a straight up fuck you to the old
because he can't. I heard all about how he can't say it in the other one because he cries.
Yeah, if you guys didn't notice, that was just a straight up FU to the old Broly.
We did talk about it. I've never seen the old Broly movies. I'm curious to now, but we'll see. There's a part of me that's thinking about those old movies. But I want to get through. We'll see what happens when I get through these 4. But I'm thinking about it.
But the American version, I will say, to me, is better of those movies because we get Korn and Slipknot in those movies, and Disturbed and the Deftones.
That won't help it. But all right. We'll see. It's on my to-do list as a maybe. All right. And any other things you want to say?
You don't own this movie, go own this movie. Just digital or physical. To me, I'm already skipping to my it's a shelf. It's not even a shelf. It's not a shelf. It's a portrait on the shelf. That's what it is.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
No, I knew this game would mean a lot to you, or this movie would mean a lot to you. That's why I wanted you to. I wanted to still have this and insert it in here.
I mean, I'm sure if we had, the others here, if I had been there for the main show, it would have been a lot longer. But I don't mind.
All right, and stay tuned for the rest of the shelf stacking box. All right, and Barry, shelf stacker box.
Well, my Blu-ray is still on the shelf, so absolutely shelf it. It's a great movie. It's worth revisiting, and it's definitely one I look forward to sharing with my son down the road.
That's sweet, and this is one that you easily could.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with it. So
Dragon Ball's good for every age.
If you go to the credits in the Crunchyroll, it does have Vic Mignogna as Broly. Now, whether they did something to change it, I don't know, but that's what the credits on Crunchyroll is.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, and I'll go last. I'm putting this on the shelf too. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I watched this movie without Marvel snapping, without really doing anything else. I just watched this movie. I'm like, this is really good. And I watched it a second time while I was doing other things like dishes and things. I was like, I want to watch it again. It was just good. I really had a good time. I came into this movie with not much expectations and left thoroughly surprised and had a really good time. And now I'm even more excited to watch Superhero at some point in the future. So, yeah, I'm glad I finally did it.
Hope you're ready for the weird transition to 3D.
Yeah, the art change in Superhero is jarring at first.
Sometimes looks incredible, and sometimes looks like shit.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm still very excited to see that movie. So I didn't realize that movie's already been out for 2 years. So I think I need to get around to it.
Yeah, weird plot point. This came out like right before COVID. That came out like
2019.
right. Yeah, that came out right after COVID.
Yeah, 2022 is when things started coming back. I mean, some stuff really didn't come back to 2024. I mean, it's been weird. Like, well, it depends on where you live. Like, for me, the White Castles have come back to 24 hours already. And some McDonald's have. But if you live in a state, let's say Nebraska, for example, for no reason at all, the McDonald's there aren't 24 hours. At least not if you're in the middle of nowhere.
I'm in Missouri, and I'm pretty sure ours are not 24 hours yet.
Yeah.
Mine aren't.
Mine fucking aren't. Either are Walmart's either. The only thing that's 24 hours
Yeah,
here is
Walmart.
fucking Burger King.
Walmart never will be again. I don't
You don't
think
think so?
so. No, because
I don't think so.
they could have. Like, they just, like, we don't make enough money to spend the money to have people here. We just aren't going to bother anymore. I did love 24-hour Walmarts because I used to go a
They're
lot.
still open till like mid.
It depends on the Walmart. Yeah, some are still midnight, but midnight's late enough for most people. So, all right. Any last things you guys want to say? I think we're about to go to plugs. Okay, let's go to plugs. Barry, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at Hawk Hellfire. You can also find me Blue Sky and Fuse, same name. You can also find me at NintendoFuse.com and all social media platforms at NintendoFuse, as well as on YouTube, youtube.com/NintendoFuse, where we do bi-weekly podcasts, game chat reviews, industry talks, a bunch of other stuff. And then, of course, PremiumEditionGames.com, where you could pick up our latest pre-order Switch physical games, as well as a bunch of in-stock Switch physical games right now. You can find us on social media everywhere, Premium Edition Games, except for Twitter, where it's at Premium Edition 1.
What's bi-weekly?
By every other week.
I don't know what that means. I only know posting 3 to 4 episodes every week and doing too much work. I don't understand. I always tell people anyone that talks about podcasts, I'm like, don't do what I do. Do not do what I do. Like, I'm insane.
You mean like record back to back?
Yeah, literally. Yeah. I've done 3 recordings in one day before. Don't ever do that.
I've done that before too.
That's painful. And your wife looks at you like she wants to take the knife and stab you through the heart. So I've been there doing that one. Yeah, no, don't do that. But I do it every so often. I try not to because it makes me upset. So, all right. And John, where can we find you at?
You can find me occasionally over on twitch.tv/Commander Lionheart with him when he streams. I am not sure what he's streaming this week or if he's streaming this week, but that's where I'm at.
I've been trying to get him back into... because he's been on the show a bunch lately. Well, Kingdom Hearts, damn it. But I'm always trying to get him to stream more because I think if you enjoy it, you definitely should do it.
Yeah, he's been streaming the last couple weeks.
I've seen him post it in Overblood, so...
We tried to play Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, but we never could get the co-op to work. That game seems like it might have problems.
Yeah, I heard that they had a big patch recently.
It was patched the night we tried to play it. I downloaded the patch, and the next morning I downloaded another patch.
Oh.
Which version? Which system?
PS5.
Supposedly, Top Hat Gaming Man on YouTube 4 days ago said they fixed it, was the title of a YouTube video.
I saw the title. I
didn't
watch.
I didn't care enough.
I'm a Power Rangers dork, so I bought it. I kind of don't have any real interest in playing it right now.
Yeah, it'll still be there.
I got too much shit to play right now.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, huh?
You wrote yourself into that corner, young man.
And I keep writing myself more into that corner because I'm doing more and more games lately. So, but yes, I actually don't mind it.
I'm trying to get out of the 14 mine so I can play something else. I'm close.
You uninstall it.
No, I get all of my jobs to cap, which I have 3 left.
Good job, John. I believe in you. I knew you could get out of that Warframe shaking its whole asshole at me in the corner of my room. Yeah, I'm proud of you there, bud.
Don't get me started because I also want to play Warframe, and I don't need another rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I mean, I have.
This is why I want to play. I want to play 11 again. Final Fantasy 11. There's a guy in one of my groups that posts he's going through it single player essentially, and every time I see him post, I'm like, man, there's a big part of me that if I didn't have this podcast, I would have downloaded 11 and went back and played it solo. So many memories to Final Fantasy 11. Barry can speak to that too. That game, just to go back and just play through it without any concerns and not having to sit in Juno and wait for Seek Party.
Oh, no mug house, mug spinning in your mug house, waiting for a party invite.
Oh my! Or wait until someone does a shout that you like, and then you get 4 or 5 people for a party, then all of a sudden the whole party falls apart. Yeah.
Oh,
So
you wait
well-
4 hours, decide you have to pee, you can't hold it any longer, and you come back and you missed the tell. Sorry, we replaced. We already filled it in.
The latest Alliance raid is Juno.
Yes,
They're
it's
doing all
fantastic.
Final Fantasy 11. It's so good.
I hear about it from Phoebe and a friend of mine who also plays 14 that tells me all about it. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. All right.
The music.
I only have 2,256 hours into 14.
No.
That's it. That's nothing.
No. I hate that he's right. So,
Yeah.
all right. All right. Yeah, we should just wrap this up. If you enjoyed this episode, over 750 episodes of this podcast, you can find everything we do on Podbean. We do movies, comics, TV shows. If you want to hear the rest of our Dragon Ball content, in the show note will be links to all the Dragon Ball stuff we have done before this. It's just some, not a whole lot, but some content there for you. If you want to support the show, do a Patreon, a little dog vote in our Patreon poll. We have 1 to 2 polls a month. Great way to support the show. Great way to vote and things that happen, make things happen on the show. If you want to be on the show, if you want to chat with us, we do have a Discord. It's free. You're always having new people join. You want to lurk? I don't care. Make the number go up. Make me smile. That's fine too. But you can suggest things you can be on. That's how you be on the show, because that's where I ask for people to join the show a lot of times, and Facebook. But I'm trying there more. And want to just saw my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Hash Fury. Follow her on TikTok and Instagram, and check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. He'll be back by the time this first airs. So he's talking about Final Fantasy VII for 3 months, he said. So definitely go check out his podcast. Very well produced. Very, very great guy. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, TikTok, and rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye, Nara.